He's always working towards a greater ultimate restoration. And that hope is rooted deeply in the gospel itself.
Yeah. That idea that God's plan is never derailed, even by immense pain, and that he's working towards this greater restoration. That's profound. It really shifts your perspective, doesn't it? From just lamenting to hoping in that future victory. And speaking of that unfolding plan, let's move to the third key moment here, the return to Nazareth. Herod dies, and an angel again instructs Joseph, again in a dream, tells him to return to Israel. But Joseph shows some real wisdom here, doesn't he? He doesn't just rush back.
He absolutely does. He hears that Herod's son Archelaus is now ruling in Judea, and Judea included Bethlehem, the very place Herod tried to destroy Jesus.
In danger zone.
Exactly. So rather than just going straight back there, Joseph is warned again, divinely warned, and he wisely avoids that specific area. And this discernment leads him to settle instead up in the region of Galilee, in this small, really unassuming town called Nazareth. What's truly remarkable is that this move, too, fulfills prophecy. Matthew writes, "He shall be called a Nazarene."
Now that specific phrase, "he shall be called a Nazarene," that's not a direct Old Testament quote like we saw with Hosea or Jeremiah, is it? It feels a bit different.
You're exactly right. It's not a direct word-for-word quote you can pinpoint easily. Instead, Matthew seems to be explaining that this fulfills a broader prophetic theme found throughout the Old Testament, particularly in books like Isaiah.
Okay.
Think about Isaiah 53, for instance. The Messiah is described as one who would be despised and rejected by mankind, someone of no reputation. And Nazareth itself, it really was a town with, well, no reputation. It wasn't important. It wasn't a center of power or prestige. So to be called a Nazarene back then, it was often kind of a term of derision, a way of looking down on someone from this, backwater town.
Like Nathanael asking, can anything good come out of Nazareth in John's gospel?
Precisely.
Yeah.
That captures the sentiment perfectly. It was almost a dismissive, pejorative term.
And yet, God intentionally chooses this path, this obscurity, this lowliness for the savior of the world. What kind of message does that send about God's ways versus, human expectations, even for us today?
It sends a profound, completely countercultural message. Human expectations, they usually center on power, right? Prestige, prominent beginnings. We expect greatness to come from grandeur. But God's wisdom just turns that upside down. The Savior of the world, the King of Kings. He wouldn't grow up in palaces or hang out in the bustling centers of power. No, he would emerge from obscurity, from humility, from a place people looked down on. He would become the living embodiment of that suffering servant, the one who was despised. And it's precisely through this unexpected path, this path of lowliness, that redemption would ultimately come. It just beautifully shows God's, counterintuitive wisdom. His greatest, most world-changing work is often done through humble, even outwardly insignificant means. It's a powerful reminder for us that God's methods are often not our own.